Jennifer Tilly is literally the highlight of this season, and I'm absolutely obsessed with her. Honestly, she's like a breath of fresh air in a celebrity world full of chaos, rumors, and petty drama. I just had to say it. Bless her, seriously. I want to be her when I grow up. She's such a blast to watch, with this energy that just makes everything more fun. And let's talk about the caviar situation. She just orders the most expensive one like it's no big deal, and I'm here for it. It's hilarious, and it's exactly the kind of no-drama vibe that made me love Real Housewives in the first place. Now, it's just fight after fight, and honestly, it's getting exhausting. Can we just get more fun, sparkles, and less of the endless conflict? Please and thank you. Sutton really dropped the ball with Tilly. Let's just say, the outfit she chose was a crime. Jen, on the other hand, somehow rocked that hideous, boxy, 70s shag carpet orange sweater with flair, though honestly, it should have just been set on fire instead of donated. That sweater was the kind of tragic that should be banned from ever seeing the light of day. Our girl Tilly deserved so much better. But let's be real, Tilly could wear a paper bag and still look amazing. Seriously, it doesn't even matter what she wears. She's the one person on RHOBH who owns everything, and I'm here for it. She's easily my favorite. There's no drama with her, and honestly, that's the kind of energy I'm all about. Tilly's also the only one on the show who actually seems to understand how lucky she is to have that kind of money. She's living her best life, and she knows it. No bitterness, no spoiled vibes, no out-of-touch millionaire routine. She's just enjoying life, being kind, generous, and not throwing shade at everyone else like some people. If I had that kind of wealth, I'd be living it up too, just vibing, no need to make anyone else feel bad because I'm miserable. But hey, what do I know? I don't personally know her. As for her outfit, I actually think it looked great. The color is really cool and it flatters her skin tone. Plus, the length, perfect for showing off Tilly's fantastic legs. Definitely got some 90s retro vibes that I'm all for. Oh, and the clothes at the rehearsal, love them, until I realized they were the model's personal wardrobe. Now I totally understand why Sutton's outfits were apparently sitting in the donate to Goodwill pile. Also, I'm still on the struggle bus with the whole concept. Would have been nice to see the clothes before Sutton altered them, so I could at least understand what was going on. Is anyone else just underwhelmed by Erika Jayne's discount house makeover? I mean, all she did was throw in some new curtains, slap up some palm wallpaper, and toss in a few leopard print cushions. Oh, and I saw a gold pineapple lamp. You know, the kind that was trendy like 15 years ago. Look, I get it. She's not rolling in cash the way she used to, so I wasn't exactly expecting a mansion-level renovation. Her place is cute, and it's clearly what she likes. Not everything has to be on trend, right? But honestly, it's a bit of a mixed bag. It's cute, but definitely not for everyone. Seeing Martin around makes me want to rewatch Million Dollar Decorators, although there's only 2 seasons, which I guess is why everyone's calling her place outdated. That show aired 14 years ago. Honestly though, it's cute, not my taste, but you can definitely see the transformation. And $30K? That actually seems cheap to me. Wallpaper isn't exactly affordable, and those chairs she's picking up? Easily $13K from the stores she's shopping at. Don't even get me started on the cost of a good painting, especially in major cities. Also, that Cabana area? Chef's kiss. Meanwhile, I'm crying over here in my NYC apartment with 0 outdoor space. Oh, definitely don't call her dude, she's your sister. Forget the fact that you just dropped a completely unnecessary expletive. Honestly, that had me in stitches. I'm still cracking up just thinking about it. Did anyone else get totally blindsided by Denise's reaction? Because I sure did. I'm on the same page. Denise is such a total airhead, but I can't help but be obsessed with her daughters. The older one is definitely her dad's mini-me. She's got that same sharp, sarcastic attitude, and I bet she's hilarious. Meanwhile, the younger one is just as sweet as Denise. Both of them are gorgeous. Overall, the show was actually pretty good. So here's the big question. Why is everyone losing their minds over Sutton's wallet comment to Dorrit, but somehow brushing off Dorrit's alcoholic insinuations toward Sutton? I'm genuinely asking, what's the deal? The wallet jab was childish and petty, kind of like a "my ex is bigger than yours" playground argument. We all know that wealth is basically public record anyway, especially with Dorrit's foreclosure, back taxes, and all that asset division drama. So it shouldn't be shocking to anyone that she's not exactly the richest one in the group. Yeah, it wasn't a nice comment, but seriously, are we really going to clutch our pearls over it? Let's talk about flaunting wealth for a second. Tacky? Absolutely. But I think the fact that people are calling this cruel says more about their own priorities than anything else. What's the big deal about someone calling out that they have fewer assets than you? Why is that somehow worse than calling someone an alcoholic? I just don't get it. If anyone wants to explain why those two things are equally, or more, offensive, I'm all ears. For me, though, it's not the wallet comment itself that bothers me. It's Sutton's whole "I'm so proper and full of good manners" act, except, of course, when it's rules for her and not for everyone else. If someone else were flaunting their wealth, she'd be the first to call it distasteful. I can almost guarantee it. Oh, and funny how no one seems to mention that Kyle was also all over the whole "Sutton is an alcoholic" narrative. Seems like that's getting conveniently ignored. Personally, I'm not offended by any of it. I love it. It just highlights what a total fraud Sutton is with her sisterhood nonsense and fake sweetness. Newsflash: Sutton's not a nice person, and neither is Dorrit. But at least Dorrit isn't sitting there pretending to be the queen of kindness, while simultaneously being a total jerk to everyone. At least she owns it. Also, just a quick note, Dorrit has never filed for bankruptcy. PK has, but Dorrit, nope. That said, I think PK a hustler and probably broke. But hey, we don't know for sure. Dorrit, yeah, she's definitely insecure about it. Sutton knows this, so naturally she preys on it. As for Dorrit calling Sutton an alcoholic, yeah, Sutton drinks a lot. I'm not convinced she's an alcoholic, but she definitely enjoys her cocktails, and we all know she's sensitive about it. Dorrit knows exactly how to push those buttons. Honestly, this whole mess is glorious. They're all fake as hell, and it makes for some fantastic TV. Did anyone else catch Denise Richards' new show, Wild Things? I'm watching season 1, and let me tell you, she almost made me lose my lunch. So apparently, her husband Aaron's family, you know, his mom, dad, and middle-aged brother, decided to come visit and stay in her house for 3 months. 3 months turned into 3 years, and it gets worse. She ended up moving her entire family out to not 1, not 2, but 3 rented townhouses. Excuse me, what? Color me shocked that Aaron was perfectly fine letting his family mooch off her like that. That's insane. I literally thought the same thing. Honestly, someone needs to tell Denise, girl, put that family in a townhome and you stayed in your own house. Like, come on, what a bunch of freeloaders. I've never liked Aaron, but now I really can't stand him. What kind of man lets his wife go through that and foot the bill for his family? Nah, screw that. Is Kyle being hypocritical? Well, let's think about that for a second. I really hate to jump on the let's bash Kyle bandwagon, but I can't help it. She doesn't exactly have the moral high ground when it comes to being upset about Mauricio's paparazzi photos. I mean, the whole mess with her and Morgan. Yeah, that was a whole drama storm. And I'm pretty sure a lot of it was intentional, probably fueled by her emotional pain. But hey, let's not hold her accountable for that. Yeah, she's being hypocritical. She played her cards thinking Mauricio would fight for her. Surprise. He didn't. Oops. Here's the thing. I really think Mauricio checked out the second he saw all of her tattoos. I don't even know why he has one or when he got it, but in Jewish culture, tattoos are like a thing. And Kyle, she was all mad about it. Did it for attention, got the attention, then turned around and acted like it was his problem. That's gotta sting, right? I bet that was the last time he called her babe. Those tattoos? Yeah, that hit a nerve. Now, don't get me wrong, Kyle is hypocritical about a lot of things. That's pretty much her brand at this point. But in this particular situation, I don't think it's her hypocrisy showing. If we're being honest, Kyle really loved Mauricio and their family. She fought through all kinds of drama with her own family just to stay with him. She defended him through all those cheating rumors. The woman lost her best friends to suicide, and where was her husband? Not exactly standing by her side. So, she leaned on Morgan for support. A lot of support, if we're being real. But when it came to separating from Mauricio, I don't think she thought it was actually happening. That's why the whole buying furniture thing threw her for a loop. I think, deep down, she expected Mauricio to step up and make things right, and when that didn't happen, well, she went full you don't know what you've got till it's gone mode. She wanted to make him jealous, show him that she could be with someone else, and well, it backfired spectacularly. If Jennifer Tilly doesn't get her diamond next season, I will absolutely lose it. I mean, she's hilarious and so a real housewife. It's practically criminal she hasn't had one yet. I adore her. But, let's be real. For her to snag that coveted diamond, she'd need to stir up some chaos. You know, pick a fight or two with the other ladies. Right now, she's just a fabulously rich, sparkly, quirky friend who everyone loves to have around. She's basically living her best life and no one's mad about it. It's the perfect setup, really. Honestly, I'm kind of digging her friend status at the moment. She doesn't seem to have the thirst for drama. She's too happy and self-aware, which is probably why she's not out there throwing shade like the others. Garcelle falls into this category too for me. Love her, but she's just too low drama. Still, Jennifer's the perfect friend and makes great TV. Whether she gets the and goes full-time or stays as a friend, I just hope she's back next season because she's an absolute delight to watch. Sutton's fashion show? Oh, what a letdown. Honestly, it's just another classic case of a Housewives fashion flop. How many times have we seen someone with absolutely zero knowledge of the fashion world decide to launch a line or host a show? The trend is so tired at this point, it's practically a franchise requirement. I thought Sutton, with all her talk about knowing everything about fashion and her Dolce & Gabbana connection, might actually do something different. But nope, just like the rest, there was nothing innovative or remotely interesting. The collection wasn't cohesive at all, and the men's clothes, basic, boring. Where's the sustainable element? Because, honestly, I'm intrigued by sustainable fashion, but this didn't seem to touch that in any meaningful way. She's got $300K a month in alimony. Hello, rich, and she could easily have partnered with an up-and-coming designer focused on sustainability to create something fresh and creative. Instead, she's doing, what? Circular fashion. Basically, recycling old garments and slapping her name on them like that makes them new. It's not. It's more like fast fashion, and I'm not buying into the idea that this is some game-changing, eco-friendly collection. She could have made a statement about sustainability, but nope, her speech was just her begging everyone to be proud of her, which was cringe-worthy to the max. Like, sorry Sutton, this isn't how you make your mark in the fashion world. And let's be real, are any of us looking at these pieces and thinking, yeah, I'd buy that, especially at those prices? I tried Googling to find any information on how it's sustainable, but all I got were TikToks and meta videos, which I deleted the apps for a reason. The clothes felt like something Sutton would never wear herself. And honestly, I can't imagine any of the housewives strutting around in these either. It came off as her trying to sell off cheap clothes to make a quick buck. which, let's face it, is probably exactly what it was. Oh wow, Sutton. Truly, I'm just so proud of you for opening a thrift store. I mean, who else would think to deal with buyers and reps while selling off all their extra stuff? She's out here acting like she's running some high-end fashion empire, but let's be real, it's just a designer junkyard. And sure, it's designer junk, but still, her need for praise for opening a consignment shop in this economy. Definitely not the Herculean feat she thinks it is. Look, Sutton wants to be a successful businesswoman, but here's the thing, she doesn't have to be. The stakes of her success feel huge to her, but they're really not. Her store is essentially a vanity project, and it's literally named after her. It's all upside, but she's too oblivious to see that. So, naturally, it feels a little off. And I'm all for weird. Weird is great. But Sutton's brand of weird is like Jennifer Tilly rocking a Louis Vuitton boat purse and chilling in a haunted Malibu mansion. Cool, right? But Sutton, she's the kind of weird where you're watching the emotional roller coaster of a middle-aged woman with zero life direction. And it's not the charming, quirky kind of weird. It's more like who let this unregulated mess in here weird. Now, to be fair, I see a lot of these housewives' businesses more as hobbies than actual businesses. Still, I'll give Sutton some credit. It takes effort to run a store, even if you're outsourcing the real work. Stocking, buying, inventory, payroll, sure, she probably had a team handling it, but she still had to take some responsibility. That said, when you're not sweating over whether the store turns a profit, most of the stress disappears. Sutton wouldn't know that, though. She's never really had to run a business in the real world. But let's dial it back for a second. Sutton's got some baggage. She wasn't allowed to work when she was married, so now she's branded as someone who's just done nothing to earn her money. And while stay-at-home moms absolutely deserve respect, I get why Sutton might feel like she needs a little extra validation. After all, when people say she hasn't worked for what she has, they're implying she's too dumb to make her own money. It's a sting that, while understandable, is probably pretty painful. So maybe, just maybe, we can be a little more empathetic. Sure, these women have issues, but tearing them down over things that are pretty easy to understand, that's just being mean.